My check-in was a little bit finicky online.
I'm hoping that they don't notice I have 3 carry-ons instead of the allotted 2 carry-ons.
It was probably the best entertainment selection I've had on any airline I've flown on. Hi everybody, my name is Morgan Leet and I am the Western Canada editor for Narcity. I'm going to be taking you along on my journey to Phoenix, Arizona on what's my very first flight on Delta Airlines. I'm super excited to try out the US airline. I'm a Canadian, so I've just never had the opportunity to go and try it out, even though I know it's a super highly rated airline. In order to give Delta a really unbiased review, I'm going to be rating them on 5 different criteria. The first criteria that I'm going to be looking at is the booking experience. So that's if their website's easy to navigate and if it's user-friendly. The second is the check-in and boarding experience. So what kind of options are they going to give me for check-in? Is the boarding really like a smooth process and easy and doesn't take too much time? The third is going to be the seats. So obviously it's really important to have comfortable seats, especially on a longer flight. The fourth is going to be food and drinks. So I'm going to be looking at the cost, what they have available, if there's anything complimentary. Then there's the service and entertainment. So how helpful the crew and the flight attendants are, and then also what entertainment they offer. Then at the end, I'm going to give Delta an overall score based on these categories to rate them on. But first, let's take a look at the booking process.
It was super easy to navigate. You just put in your origin city, then you put in your destination. You put if you want one way or a round trip or a multi-city trip, and then you can pick the date that you want to travel on. You can also pick my dates are flexible, and then it'll show you different rates depending on the days that you fly out. I chose to just go with the specific date that I needed. You can also choose to go first class, of course, or comfort, main cabin, or you can go basic if you're looking for a more economical flight. There's lots of different flight times, which I really appreciated. It gave me some flexibility in when I wanted to go, and I could just choose whatever I wanted, and then went throughout the website, accepted their terms and conditions, and overall the booking process was really smooth. All of the follow-up emails that they sent me were pretty helpful. They sent me a full itinerary as well as a receipt. At the end, for a round trip flight from Seattle to Phoenix, it came to $512.20 USD, which isn't a super budget friendly price by any means, but for a round trip flight on the dates that I wanted, I felt like it was worth it. Overall though, it was a really smooth booking process. I can't have any complaints about it, so I would rate that a 5 out of 5.
Even though checking in online was a little bit tricky at first, I did manage to check in online before my flight, which made my flying the day of a whole lot smoother. I was able to walk into the airport, go right past the check-in counter because I wasn't checking any baggage. So I just brought my carry-on through security with me and made it to my gate in no time.
I'm waiting at the gate for boarding now. I'm hoping that they don't notice I have 3 carry-ons instead of the allotted 2 carry-ons.
The person working at the gate for Delta was really friendly and awesome. The boarding experience in general went really quickly. It went really smooth, and we actually left the ground early, which I find is really unique for any flights to leave ahead of schedule. So that was really awesome. Overall, I would rate the check-in and boarding experience a 4 out of 5. I thought that the seats on the plane were pretty typical for what you would get for any other airline, really. I'll say like the cushioning and the armrests were really comfy. I thought they were pretty spacious actually, and I had a really comfortable ride sitting in the seats. So overall, I gave the seats a 4 out of 5. For food and drink, they did have a menu available that you could scan a code for to access. It didn't have any meals available, but they did have some snacks, like regular snacks you would expect on the plane. I thought it was great that they gave out complimentary drinks and snacks, so you could choose between pretzels, cookies, or a granola bar. I chose pretzels, and I got just a glass of water, but they were also offering pop and different juices also for free. So I always like when an airline does that, especially when I'm paying a higher cost. So overall, I gave the snacks and drinks a 5 out of 5. On the flight, the crew was also very friendly. They came around multiple times to pick up garbage and to offer any assistance, which I think really just made them stand out among other airlines I've been on. In terms of entertainment, they had TVs, and it was probably the best entertainment selection I've had on any airline I've flown on. You could like track your flight, which I really like because you can see exactly how far you are from your destination, and it made the flight pass by really quickly because I watched a movie and then a couple episodes of a TV show too. So overall, I would definitely give Delta Airlines a 5 out of 5 in terms of service and entertainment. I am giving Delta an overall score of 4.5 out of 5. It's a really high score, but I think that they really deserve it. Honestly, the only thing that brought down my score from being a 5 out of 5 was the fact that my check-in was a little bit finicky online. What brought up the score for me was the extremely friendly staff who was upbeat even in the early hours of the morning, which was really fun to see, and the entertainment. They had a wide selection of movies and TV shows to choose from, and then they also gave a complimentary beverage and a snack too. The seats were also super spacious, and overall the travel just went without a hitch, which is not something that you always find in every airline. So I had a great experience and I would definitely fly Delta again. I'm Morgan Leet for Narcity.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our Narcity channel to see more content just like this.